No, what are you eating?
Papaya.
You like papaya?
I love papaya.
This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and you know, it wasn't until I was 20 years old when I tasted my first fruit directly off the tree. It was a grapefruit, and I'll never forget how much better that tasted than any other fruit I've ever had before in my life. There's a big difference between getting the fruit right off the tree versus getting it on the supermarket shelf. Well, fast forward to many years later, 20 years later or so, and now I have the opportunity to have my own fruit trees and my own fruit, and this is a fruit picker. And I don't eat all my fruit right off my trees. One day that will be my goal and my dream. Or however, you do the best you can do. Even when I lived in New York City, after I learned about the importance of eating fruit right off the tree, I would go to Prospect Park in Brooklyn or Central Park, and I would find mulberry trees and just shake the trees and the mulberries would fall off the trees. And there's so many different types of little fruits, even wild strawberries growing out there. So where there's a will, there's a way. But here we are in South Florida, and I have a couple of trees, and this is a starfruit tree, also known as a canastilla tree. And if you look closely here, we have a bunch of these starfruits growing right on the tree. Now, starfruit is very similar to a melon in the water content of it and the digestibility of it. So there it is, a fruit right off the tree. And the reason why they call this a starfruit is when you cut it, it is the shape of a star. Pretty amazing. And here you see our garden here with our collards that we planted growing this winter here in South Florida. But this is how our little starfruit, people ask me how I fit so many trees in a small space, because I don't have a big space, but I have a good amount of trees. So the starfruit is in bloom more than once a year. It's one of the reasons I got it. Of all the fruits, the fruit that grows best here in South Florida is mangoes. But they only give you fruit once a year, and it's in the summertime. Now, very often we're away in the summertime on the road, and also, you know, it's only once a year. The starfruit 3-4 times a year we get fruit, and in the wintertime, like it is now. Yes, it's wintertime, and it's beautiful out here. Now, let's just come over here, and we see this is our Aki tree. And there goes our little Aki. And when that opens up, it's actually poisonous if you take it off the tree and you cut it. But when that opens up, it becomes a delicious fruit with the consistency of an olive, but it's yellow and it tastes like cheese. It's just amazing, absolutely wonderful. And what I'm really excited about is, you know, trees are like people. They have feelings. And, you know, they give off their fruit when they're ripe. You eat it and you're blessed by it. Well, we have a jackfruit tree, and a jackfruit is the world's biggest fruit if you let it get that big. Well, I remember we have this jackfruit tree, and we'd only get 2 or 3 fruits a year. And this year I had to discipline that tree, and I said, if this tree doesn't give off more fruit, I'm going to get rid of it for a better tree. Well, I had some people come out and look at it, and they agreed, but they said, give it 1 more year, I'm sure it'll do good. They pet the tree, and they hugged the tree, and they spoke the tree. No, we just gave it a little bit of extra mulch and a little bit of extra stuff around the tree to help it, compost and so on, and so now we'll see. We got about 15 to 20 jackfruits growing on this tree. It's absolutely amazing. This is a baby jackfruit, and this is on. I mean, these get up to 50 pounds sometimes. We've had some 25 pounders on this tree. But look, there's 3 right here. 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. And they're just all over the tree. And this is a tree we've typically only gotten 3 off at most in 1 year, and now we got about 15 to 20 on this tree. It is so exciting. Another thing I did different in my garden this year is I always used to use this wall to grow tomatoes in the winter time. And the tomatoes are great, but my baby would always come and pick them before they were truly ripe. But also, it was kind of messy. I didn't really. It was good to grow, but I could find tomatoes everywhere. What I can't find everywhere is something called passion fruit. So I got these vines. These are passion fruit vines, and we put them along the whole wall here. There are several different types of passion fruit, and those will be growing shortly. And we're really excited about those because they are delicious. Some of them are bitter, some of them are sweet. You could juice them, but I just like cutting them open and just eating them. They are just absolutely wonderful. Then we got these perennial greens. This is known as katuk. It tastes like peanut butter and has actually more protein for any plant food out there, and it's just delicious. And you just take it off and you eat it, and these just grow all the time. I got another green here growing. It's a green that is very medicinal. And this is a perennial green that somebody gave us, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So we got a bunch more stuff there. We got an egg fruit tree back there. Oh, we got a black sapote tree here. We got papayas growing on a tree out there as well. Check that out, everybody. I mean, this is after we've taken about 10 papayas off the tree, and there's still a ton more left on there. And we actually have, I want to show everyone this before we close here today. And no, everybody, we are going to be having a raw food retreat here in South Florida. And one of the advantages of this raw food retreat is you'll be able to come here and yourself pick fruit right off the tree and taste it yourself. Here's what I want to show everybody. This is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite fruits is called the Jujube, which, not because I'm Jewish, but it's a favorite fruit because it's also known as a Chinese date. And they taste like an apple, but when they get dried out, or when you take them off the tree for a while, they taste like a... remember butterscotch candies when you were younger? Well, that's what they taste like. Well, we planted some trees and we have our first one right there. And it is going to be just wonderful. They'll get red and they are just great. So we're really excited about that. Oh, there goes our second one. There's another one right there. Look at that. It's so exciting. All right, that's just a short look at a little yard here. We even got a bunch more stuff at the around the perennial of the house. And we don't have a lot of space. I mean, it's amazing how much we fit in this small space. But as I said, where there's a will, there's a way. Now, if you're up north, especially right now in the wintertime, you might be thinking, well, why is he showing us all that? It's not realistic for us to have that. Even in the north, like in New York, there's a fellow named Wildman Steve Brill who goes around Central Parks and shows people how to get all the edible herbs and the fruits from the trees when they're on there. You'd be surprised what you could find. Actually, in New York City and Brooklyn, it used to be a fig plantation, and I used to go to a doctor's office, and right in front of the doctor's office, this is the only way to get me to the doctor, right in front of the doctor's office was a fig tree. So I used to go there and climb the fig tree and eat all the figs. Probably better medicine that they were giving in the room. All right, everybody, if you have any comments or questions about this, my question of the day is, have you ever picked a fresh fruit right off the tree? And, you know, what, did you grow up like that? I was 20 years old before I did, so I'm making up for lost time. All right, thanks for checking us out. Until then, everybody, have a great day and a great raw life.
This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.